Clip art is one of the best ways to add style and visual appeal to your resources. I certainly cannot create a tutorial on how to choose the right clip art because that all depends on the resource you are creating, the audience you're targeting, and your own personality. But I will provide you with some tips for finding clip art and incorporating it into your resource designs in creative ways. First, let's talk about collecting clip art. A few clip art essentials you will want to collect to get started are a set of digital frames, a set of digital papers or backgrounds, and a set or two of images that fit the type of resources you want to design. When you're first starting as a teacher creator, you probably won't want to break the bank on clip art. To avoid this, spend some time visiting TPT's clip art category. Then, sort by the price so you can see the free options available to you. Downloading freebies and incorporating free clip art into your resources will allow you to hold your own against competitors who have larger clip art collections while still sticking to your budget. If you find an artist you like, be sure to subscribe to their blog or Facebook page, as many artists give away freebies to their followers. This is a great way to build your collection quickly. Another website that will help get your collection started is My Cute Graphics, which is linked below. This site is filled with school-specific clip art that is free for commercial use as long as you provide credit with a link back. Once you have a small collection of images, it's time to add them to your resources. A few techniques that will create a professional design are overlaying, ignoring margins, using grayscale and line drawings, and thinking big or small. First up, overlaying. Laying multiple images on top of one another, rotating them, and adjusting their layering position helps to create a more dynamic design. If done carefully, you can fit more on a page when layering than you can when you give everything its own bubble of space. Here's how I created the layered look for this page. I like to start with the largest object first, so I have a focal point. I insert the art by clicking Home, Picture, and then scrolling down to select Picture from File. Then I find my image and click Insert. In the interest of time, I'm simply going to copy and paste each of the elements I've used in my finalized page rather than adding a duplicate of each one. I will position the piece of art I want as my focal point by grabbing the corners to resize and using the Rotate tool. When you purchase clip art, you should be able to size the image so that it fills the entire page without losing any pixel quality. If art that you purchase does become pixelated when you resize to fill a large space, it's time to find a new artist. This has only happened to me once and it was a freebie, so I'm thinking it's a pretty rare thing. There are plenty of professional clip art artists out there who use high quality design programs to create high quality art. I'm now going to add accent pieces until I feel the page is balanced. As I add each piece, I'll need to make decisions about layering in a way that looks polished. There are 3 ways to adjust the layering of your images on a page in PowerPoint. The first is to select the image, then click Format Picture, and then select Reorder. Scroll down and click Reorder Objects. This screen will appear. You can then highlight the different layers by clicking an image, holding down the mouse button, and dragging the image to the layer you want. When you finish, click OK. As you can see, that image has been sent to the back. The second way to arrange items is to follow the same first 3 steps. Click the image, select Format Picture, then click Reorder. Scroll down to one of the 4 arrangement choices. Bring to Front will place the image on top of everything else on the page. Send to Back will send the image all the way to the bottom layer. Bring Forward will send the image 1 layer forward, and Send Backward will send the image 1 layer back. The final way to make these layering adjustments is to select the image and then right-click, scroll down to Arrange, and select the positioning you want. As you saw in the last example, I like to ignore the page margins when it comes to adding art. Although there are times when keeping everything within the margins looks great, I recently started hanging art off the sides of the page and I'm loving the look. I think of it as an alternative and more dynamic way of framing the text. To get this look, drag the corners of the image frame until it's large enough to hang off the side of the page. Then incorporate layering if desired. This technique can also be used on printables, so you have lots of room for content, but also have that fun visual that complements the content in a unique way. That leads right into the next technique, which is think big or small. Something that can set you apart from the crowd is incorporating very large images on your cover page or content pages if appropriate. You need to be cautious with this technique when it comes to content pages. Although large images add interest to a reproducible, the page should mostly be filled with content, which is the main asset that adds value to your resources. If customers see that your pages are too cutesy and there isn't enough meat to them, they're not going to be a repeat buyer. One last clip art technique is to incorporate line drawings and grayscale images on reproducible pages. Many graphic artists include line drawings and full color images in their clip art sets. A line drawing is simply an image outline with no fill and no color. It is wise to use line drawing images on reproducible pages because it saves teachers ink when they print. If line drawings are not included in your clip art purchase, you can help reserve some ink by converting your images to grayscale so they don't waste color ink, and so black and white printers don't waste black ink on dark, bold images. To change an image to grayscale, simply click the image, then click Format Picture, and select Recolor. Find the grayscale option and select. Remember, incorporating clip art into your resources takes time and you will likely make many modifications to your design before you have a final design. One of the best ways to make a decision on whether your clip art design is the most visually appealing is to duplicate the slide you are designing. To do so, simply right-click the slide and select Duplicate. Then create several layouts. Seeing each layout side by side makes the decision-making process much easier than trying to recall what previous designs looked like after you've made modifications. When you've come to your final decision, simply highlight the designs you don't wish to use and click Delete or Backspace on your keyboard to eliminate them. I hope these clip art tips and techniques will inspire you to think outside the box when adding art to your resources. If you have a favorite artist or know of one who provides monthly freebies to their followers, share your knowledge in the form below so we can add that artist to our list. Up next in Tool 11, I will show you how to add photos to your resources and share a few rules you need to know if you do want to add photos to your designs.